There we go.
There we
What's
go.
up, man?
What's up, Mr. Robinson?
Man, just sitting here. Look, I still got my damn thing on. Recovering.
Recovery. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, look, I appreciate you getting out your hospital bed to come join me tonight.
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Oh man, not too much, not too much. I really appreciate you also taking the challenge of sharing some of your work with me, and whether it's for 1 or 1 million, it's just taking that first step and trying to figure out a way to get our work in front of people and have an opportunity to talk about it. And there's so much talent out there, and obviously, when I thought about doing this, you're the first person, one of the first people I thought of, and I'm glad you accepted the challenge
Yeah, appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
for
It's
sure.
definitely. I'm happy to be here. Happy to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about.
Oh, look, everything from movies to life we probably steer clear of politics. I'm pretty sure everybody's of the same mind for the most part, but no reason to turn
Yeah.
this into a sadness.
What they say. What all the girls be saying online. None of my business. I'm just here to.
Exactly. Hey, so like real quick, like obviously the film is called Kelly,
Yep.
right? So tell me how the project came about, like how you know the director, how you came to be the DP on it, maybe even a little bit about you and where you're from and all those things leading up to it.
Yes. So, I'm Brandon Champ Robinson. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Currently living here in lovely, not burning down anymore, California. Let's see, been here for just over 10 years now. So that's cool. Been working pretty much with my production company exclusively since 2017. Just doing anything from brand videos, commercials, music videos, short film, you name it, all the above. And yeah, just getting after creating content, creating films and different projects and things like that. My YouTube channel, Imagination Upgraded, where I go on there and make things, share knowledge, all that good stuff. And yeah, as far as Kelly goes, I met the director a few years back. He was actually working on a series. So Kelly is actually a spinoff from his short series called Losing Hope.
Okay.
He he did get some work. His name's Derek Webster. He did get some work done. Um, he had a bunch of his shot, but he didn't really. He wanted to go back and reshoot some things. So he was someone introduced him to me, and we just kind of hit it off, talked about the project a bit, and we ended up going through and reshooting his first episode. And then from there, I ended up cutting all of his episodes. I ended up editing his 5 episodes and coloring them. And we just kind of kept in touch from there. He became, like a brother, one of the homies. So, when you find some genuine people out here in California, you kind of want to hold on to them.
Mhm.
So we kind of clicked that way. So when he came up with this spinoff, this Kelly was a character inside of his Losing Hope series, which the goal for him was always to create an ensemble cast. So once he wanted to do a spin-off of that, it was actually supposed to be a series, but they were writing a full series. So it was
Mhm.
like 10 30-minute episodes,
Oh, wow.
somewhere around there.
Well,
6 pages. Like he had 10 episodes of like 20 to 30 pages, somewhere in there. But he pulled out parts of each of those to make a short film.
gotcha.
And that was both supposed to be like a proof of concept. So we did that. This time we partnered up a bit. I was a producer and DP
Mhm.
and editor again on there for him. And yeah, we did the festival run. We were able to get into some good festivals. Some festivals we didn't get into that we felt like we could have. We may tweak it for some other festivals that says some things like, "Oh, it's a little too long," or blah blah blah, and we may do it again. But as of now, it's released in its current state on YouTube, and for
Gotcha.
everybody to check out.
Got you. I know that a couple of people on my end have watched it, and they definitely got back to me and told me how much they enjoyed it. And they're specifically interested in your as a DP, just your ability to work with skin tones, and more specifically, obviously, black skin tones.
Mhm.
It looks like you played a lot with different colors and very very distinct, contrasty colors. You want to talk a little bit, just help me even understand as a cinematographer myself, like how do
Yeah.
you do that? How do you get those colors?
Yeah. So the cool thing about the way Derek wanted this to be, he really wanted to lean into. I feel like I have a very stylized look, and sometimes I think I'm like, all right, I did a little too much. But some people, Derek really enjoyed it. He wanted to lean into it, as far as the colors and things like that. So he gave me a lot of free range to, uh, kind of play with different colors and give him ideas on how we can play with different color contrasts against the skin because one thing as our us as beautifully melanated people, our skin reflects or refracts, whatever the right word is, light like beautifully. Like I got this orange happening right here. It reflects it and captures it very beautifully. And if you can, I just like to play with different colors and put lights in some places with a little bit of color that you may not expect it to be there. But if you're going for like a stylized look and something you can have some fun with, that's what I was able to do, and that's what Derek allowed me to do and play with that. And it actually was received very well. Like every time it played on the big screen. The good thing about I'm not a big film festival fan, but the
Mm-hmm.
good thing about film festivals that I found after I said, all right, I'm going to make sure that I put myself out there and start to enter some of these film festivals and go to them. The good thing that I found was the networking that happened from them because pretty
Yeah.
much every time it screened, I got another job. So like
Mm-hmm.
we didn't like technically win the film festival, but every time it screened, I got to talk to more people and people came up to me specifically talking about like the skin tones and the lighting and
Yeah.
black
Yeah.
people and things like that. And I got more jobs from that. So that was a very big plus in in that regard.
Oh, it sounds like you won to me.
Yeah, yeah. So
that,
I
that sounds
mean,
like a net win.
that definitely sounds like a win to me.
So in the early in this conversation, you've already mentioned that you were a producer on this. You shot it. Your handle is directed by a champ. You said you edited it. You colored it. So I also know a couple of things about being this ridiculous multi hyphenate. Like, what's your background? Are you a film school guy? Are you a University of YouTube guy? Like, how did you stumble into being able to do all these things?
Yeah. So I stumbled across just video production in general in like eighth grade, and I'm OG, so that was a few years ago. So stumbled across that in eighth grade in my middle school. They had a production wing called Eagle Wing Productions,
Yeah.
and I kind of fell into it there. From there, I didn't have any in Milwaukee. I didn't have any resources to kind of keep it going. So once I graduated from eighth grade, it pretty much stopped. Like I didn't have any access to cameras. I didn't have any access to anything. In Milwaukee, I don't know if it's like this in every other state, but in Milwaukee, you have to for public schools, you get a form. You would get a form. I don't know if it's the same, but you would get a form, and your mom or your parent would fill out that form with three of their choice schools. Your first, second, and third, whichever one you want to go
Mm.
to, and then you would get placed in a school like that. So what happened is, if you don't fill out that paper, you just get placed in whatever.
Gotcha.
So my mom didn't fill out that paper. I don't know if I didn't give it to her or if it just got slipped through the cracks, but she was busy, single mom, working all the time. Just for whatever reason, that paper didn't get filled out. And I got sent to this school called John Marshall High School. And just so happens that that school had a video production program.
Mm.
So the school had a video production program, but it was only for upperclassmen. So I come in as a freshman, and I'm doing my freshman bullshit. I'm not paying attention. I'm not doing whatever. I'm just trying to roam the halls and do all this extra stuff. And funny enough, I found this girl. She was a junior, and I started talking to her, and then I followed her into her class, and it was a video production class,
Mm.
and I was just like, "Yo, what the hell is this?" Didn't know they had it. Nothing. I was just like, "Whoa!" They had all the machines and everything. I was like, "Yo, how do I get in this class?" So I got kicked out of that class. Teacher kicked me out. Said, "Yo, get out of here." I was asking her how to get in there. She was like, "No, this is the upper class." Blah blah blah. So immediately left there. Went to my counselor's office and was like, "Yo, how can I get in this class?" It was like, oh, you can't get in there until you're junior. I was like, nah, that's not acceptable. Like, I don't want nothing. I'm like, I don't want to do nothing else in here, but I just want to be in this class. Like, we got to figure something out. Long story short, they allowed me to get in that class as a sophomore.
Okay.
So they didn't give it to me right away. They did let me get in there as a sophomore. So from there, for my sophomore year, I pretty much was in that class going forward. And yeah, I mean, I just basically lived in that classroom as much as possible. Like if I could get done with it, actually made me do my work
Mm,
in school,
yeah.
because if I could get caught up and do what I was doing in there, and then I learned if you be nice to teachers, they like you, you get extra
Mhm.
shit. You know what I'm saying? So like started getting real nice with teachers, and I could just go. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, you're done. You can go," and I would just go to the video room
Mm,
and be there all the time. You know, as long as I
mhm.
was caught up. So that's kind of where my start came. As far as college goes, I got out of school. I didn't go to college right away. Just kind of picked up a camera. My teacher, never forget, love her to death for this, Miss Sappho. At the end of the year, we had uh, the OG Bubble IMAX, right? They
Yeah,
had
yeah.
just came out. The OG Bubble IMAX had Final Cut on them. At the end of the year, she literally stole one of those and gave it to me.
Oh wow. And you just put her out in the street like that. You
She
wrong.
know I don't care. I don't care. She knows it. She knows I love her, and it's too late because I've done, like that's cool, whatever. She did it. She gave me the computer, and it basically kickstarted her doing that. I would have never had access to it.
Mhm.
I would have never had
Yeah.
the access to any kind of editing machine or anything like that. So by her doing that, taking that chance, basically like risking her gig
Hmm.
because she saw the potential in what I could do. I've gone back to do so much stuff for the school and gone back to do so much stuff for her that that computer has been paid for like 30 times over,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that little act of rebellion on her end, like, yeah, I'm gonna give this to you, and kindness on my end, she really set it off. So yeah, after school I had my son, and then we ended up moving from Milwaukee to Madison, and I went to a school called Madison Media Institute, which was just a 2 year kind
Mhm.
of community college kind of thing. Ended up getting an associate's degree uh, in film and TV
Yeah.
production. Oh no, I'm sorry. Ended up getting an associate's degree in, I don't even know what it is for anymore. Ended up getting an associate's degree in like video production and motion graphics, something like that. But it
Right.
was never. It was the way the school was pitched to me, like it was a film school, and it was not. They were geared more towards TV and news. And I told them in the beginning, like I never want to do TV. I never want to do news. TV was fine. I
Mhm.
never wanted to do like
Yeah.
news. So they always wanted to pitch me to news companies and outlets out there to go work, and I just wouldn't do it. Um, Long story less long, I picked up the camera and started doing freelancing and doing a lot of music videos, ton of music videos. Fell in love with doing many music videos, but then I found out that people love my music videos because of the storylines I would write for the music videos.
Mhm.
And that was the reason I was getting like so much business, because I would basically be making a movie inside a music
Yeah.
video.
Hmm.
And that just changed. It just clicked, and I was like, oh, I actually want to do movies and music videos, just like what I'm doing it through. I want to do series and movies and shows. And that's when I kind of started to change. I started my YouTube channel and I did my Harley Quinn web series,
Hmm.
and things like that. And, from there, little while after that, was the move to California. I mean, there were some things that kind of pushed me to move more.
Yeah.
Um, One of them being like I had a neurosurgery, and that kind of took me out for. It was scary. It took me out for like a month. The scary thing about it was like it was supposed to be a 2 hour procedure, and I went in there and it was like 8 hours, but it felt like a blink to me.
Oh
It
wow.
felt like just a flash.
Wow.
And I realized that while it was just that fast for me, like my family and stuff was so worried
Mm.
about me that entire time because I was gone for 8 hours and it was supposed to be a 2 hour procedure.
Yeah.
And at that point, I just realized, like, man, I don't really have nothing that I could leave my family. I feel like I'm not moving in the right way that God wants me to move. And just felt like it was all a sign.
Mm.
And that's ended up, I was like, yeah, I got to do it. So we saved for a year, um, sold a bunch of stuff, and then packed everything up, shipped it off to California, and we got on the plane. And when I landed here, it was the first time I ever been in California, and the rest was history.
Man, that gave me a little bit of chills. I didn't, as long as I've known you, I didn't realize we got a lot in common. We can talk about offline.
Oh, okay.
Just just from the whole journey. The journey sounds familiar. Down to my first editing experience was my sister. I stole my niece and nephew's iMac with the
The one.
blue shield
Yep.
on the back and learned how to edit on that. So a lot of parallels there I wasn't even aware of.
Hmm.
So you've been in Los Angeles for a little while now, and you've been on this independent art tip.
Yeah,
I know for me,
grinding,
what's that?
grinding.
Grinding. I listen again. I know that grind.
Yeah.
Tell me a little. I had a friend who sent me a meme the other day, and the meme said something to the effect, and I'm going to butcher this, but it was like, some days I feel like I'm the most brilliant artist on the planet. Nobody can tell me nothing. Other days I consider maybe it's time to start applying at Best Buy.
Yep.
So do you deal with those kinds of ups and downs, those kind of doubtful moments, kind of excitement moments, and how do you deal with the ebbs and flows of being an indie artist?
Yeah, man. I gotta. I can relate to that meme so much, bro. You won't even understand. Like the ebbs and flows and the peaks and valleys are so strong, bro. Like, like when those valleys hit,
Mm,
oh man, they could take you out. Like I can remember, think to a time right now, last year, before I landed another contract, which is a really cool one. I will talk about it. Before I landed it, I remember going and was like, yo, I just need to make some money somehow.
mhm,
Bro, I was applying at gas stations. I
mhm,
was applying at fast food. Like I felt like just a bum. Not saying that there's people who work there are bums or anything like that. I'm definitely not saying that, but I just felt like I just couldn't. It just killed me because I'm
People that
like,
can't get interviews there, though.
yeah, dog, I couldn't get an interview, bro. I couldn't
I
get an
know.
interview,
Mhm,
dog. Like at the
mhm.
gas station, I can't work a night shift. Like I'm like, I just come here at night, I'll, be the gas station man, whatever. Like I couldn't get an interview, bro.
Man.
And you know what it is like I just took it as God was just saying, like, nope. Like my grandma says all the time. My grandma always says, like, be still. And that's
Mhm,
one thing she always says to me, like, be still. Like, even now today, like, I'm supposed to be, just kind of chilling, recovering. And I was out doing stuff today. And my wife called my grandma and told on me. So she called
Good
me.
woman. Good
What I
woman.
tell you, what I tell your ass, I always tell you be still. And when she says be still, it's not technically, it's not like, yo, just sit there. It's really like just take a breather, think about what you're gonna do, and listen.
Mm,
And it'll come to you, like God will give it to you. It'll point you in the right direction.
mhm,
And that's kind of what I had to do. Like I just had to sit back and like reassess everything and start looking at certain relationships that I had and really moving myself with purpose, right? um you know just figuring out different relationships and calling people or hitting people up. And I ended up just hitting up this one producer that I worked with before as a DIT on an Apple TV gig, which was really cool. We ended up hitting it off with like the executive in charge. And I just hit her up. I was like, "Yo, what up, Anna? How you doing? Just saying what's up, seeing what's going on." And she was like, "Hey, you know what?
mhm.
We got this thing going on. I don't really know what it is, but if you want to come and check it out and see if you want to be a part of it, let me know. We can get you in for like the interview slash testing like thing." So I'm like, yeah, cool. I go down there and it ends up being freaking James Cameron. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right. Just a
Like
little thing you're
just a
working on.
little thing, like just this little thing. I end up, and it's like literally on the Avatar stage, and I'm like, "Yo,
Mhm,
how? What?" So I get down there, and I kind of show them what I'm doing and show 'em what I can do, and it ended up being on that contract pretty much for like the rest of the year. And
mhm.
now, I still actually do the contract like whenever they need me. I do
Yeah,
like 2 or 3 days a week whenever they need me. So it's just like
yeah.
perseverance, be still, And you know what I'm saying? Just like really, you just got to keep believing in what you're doing. And all this thing is about relationships, man.
Hmm.
You really do. Like I was always against like I don't want to go out here and go to this. I don't want to go out here and go to that. But when I started to get out here and go to these film festivals and
Yeah,
actually have something there, people were seeing the work.
yeah.
It started to build for me. So like work brings more work, I guess.
Listen, man. Listen, you hit on so many different. Like, I got my little list of in case things get stale questions over here, and you just like shot down the whole list.
Nah, my bad, bro. I'll talk. I'll get them off. I'll get the. I'll get them off.
Nah, listen, I love it. I love it. Now I'm trying to just even catch up. I mean, it's actually super incredible the amount of things you've done. It wasn't until, well, let me go back. The way we met, right?
Mhm.
I think was through Brandon Yarborough, right?
Yeah.
And you were like, we're kind of helping on a web series and thing that we were doing on Issa's channel and things like that.
Uh-huh.
The funniest thing about that, and I've told you this, so it's not, I'm not letting no cats out of the bag. When I first met you, I was like, oh, you seem like a cool dude. When I kind of met you again, I was like, I don't like this dude. Like, I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
don't like him. Like, he's not down for the Black Power community
Yeah.
cause. Like, he's charging rates. He wants a, you know, he wants to rent this thing.
Yeah.
And about 5 years later, 5, 6, 7 years later, out of the
Mhm.
blue, I was like, I need to call Champ and tell him he had it right. like,
Yep.
like
Yep.
this wide-eyed artist mystery thing that I had going on, where I was like thinking, oh, we're all, and I was like, nope. I should have went Champ's route. That it makes much more sense, and I wish I'd have known at the same time as him and could have avoided a lot of pitfalls.
Yeah. You know the difference between you and I. The main difference between you and I is like I. Don't get me wrong. I'm down to play. I'm down to do stuff all day. Like link up. Like we've talked. We're gonna do something at some point. But like I still got a family. Like that was my main thing coming out
Yeah,
here. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like I
mhm,
came out here with 2 kids. I added one more. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So it's
yeah,
like I can't do too many. You know what I
yeah.
mean? For the I got to get something out of it. And
Right.
it's kind of like you're into basketball now, right? So it's kind of like say for example, people end up talking about like Jimmy Butler and
Yeah.
how he goes to a team and he ends up wanting to leave or blah blah blah. But what they don't talk about is Jimmy Butler is one of the greatest players when you pay him.
Mm,
He gets to a point where you don't want to re-up his contract or you don't want to pay him what he's worth because he's always worth what he asked for because
right.
somebody gives it to him and he does play really well. He just hasn't captured a championship. But when it comes down to clutch time moments, check his numbers, it's all good. When he gets to that point,
Yeah.
then Jimmy is out.
Yeah.
Like he's like, nah, I'm done. Because now he's with Golden State. They paid him what he wanted. He's killing. He knows
Right.
it's pro. He's
Right.
doing what he's got to do. So that's kind of how I take it. Like, yeah, you pay me. I'm for sure gonna come and give you 1,000% every time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna slack. I'm not gonna do anything like that. So that's kind of where my headset was. But yeah, I understand like being the happy, bright eyed, bushy tail filmmaker, but at the same time I had real shit going on. So
Man, come on. Come on. Listen.
yeah.
Listen. I had to call you. I had to call you and admit. I had to fess up and be like, I wish I could have learned that lesson a little bit closer to what you were talking
You
about back then.
So
So
what? That
props to
was
you.
dope that you called me though. That was dope when you called me and said that because I didn't know.
Mm,
Like I didn't even know I was even coming off to you that way. It was just me. I was just like, yeah, you rent it and da 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 da. But I never had like nothing against you. I thought all your shit was dope. But at the same time, I was just like, oh, I just gotta. This is my shit. I got it. You know what I'm saying?
that's cool. It cost 97.97.
And that's
Like,
all it was. It wasn't nothing like that. So when you called and told me that, it was like I think that gave me like another level of respect for you. Like, oh yeah, bro, like really, he kind of looked back, wasn't fucking with me, and then he was like, oh yeah, no, he was probably right. Let me call him and just see what's up. And that was cool
listen.
because, like I said, I always had respect for what you did.
Appreciate
I always thought you
it.
was dope at everything. I was like, yeah, this dude's killing it. I thought you was out here actually like fucking directing all East and shit. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, bro, it's just killing it.
Right.
And you hit me. I was like, okay, yeah. So I appreciate that.
What's funny is that's a great segue to another question I had actually for you is um, things I've realized way, way too late in life, right? Like between the art and the actual show business, there's a huge chasm that I've come
Yeah.
to realize, right? And for instance, candidly, a lot of people do think that I'm like, oh, he's directed this, he's done this, he's balling. I'm like, no, that's
Yeah.
not the case. And even me being in that situation, have looked at other people and been like, oh, they made it. Oh, that person's
Mhm.
on. And then
Yeah.
come to find out in the past couple of years, those same people I think have made it or are on
Yep.
have a yoga teaching job
Yep.
or or substitute teachers and things. And again, like you said, no shade to them because they
Sure.
make more money than I do.
For sure.
But I say all that to say, like earlier on, you said you were talking about working with James Cameron.
Yeah.
Like that's the top of the food chain. Tell me about that and how. Just tell me from an artistic standpoint and even from like a economic standpoint, like did it work out the way you obviously you're not going to get into the weeds, but did it work out the way
Yeah.
you thought it was going to work out? Did it be get more work in that other circle? Like, tell
Yeah.
me more about that.
So it's weird, right? Because it's like it's like a side door, right? Like I came through a side door. So what I came through to work on was, well, it's public knowledge now. So they obviously, James Cameron has been working in the 3D technology stereo shooting space forever.
Mm-hmm.
He shot all his films, basically shoots Avatar in 3D natively, all that good stuff. With all of the new headsets and things coming out, he pretty much was like, he saw it, and every headset is natively a 3D device because it shows each of your eyes a different image, um, depending on what you're doing. So that's all stereo is showing your eyes different image, and it creates a stereo look. So now I was in there working with them on that technology on like the post side, and syncing the two different cameras because it takes two cameras in order for it to work. So syncing it up and correcting for stereo, making sure it doesn't hurt your eyes and things like
Yeah.
that. And then they ended up landing the deal with Meta. So now
Mm.
basically it's a part of Meta.
Okay.
So the Lifestyle Vision company is a part of Meta.
Incredible.
So through that interaction, like I'm not out here saying like I'm doing Avatar and shit like that. I'm not doing Avatar. But through that little side door that I came in working with like the 3D tech stuff, I've been able to make other connections with like ESPN and Disney. Avatar comes out on Disney, ESPN and Disney and WNBA and things like that. So I've been able to, my goal was like, all right, if I'm going to go into this and I'm going to do it, because it was tough starting out. I live about 75 miles from the studio, and over like a course of 4 months, I was there every day for 5 days a week. I was there every
Mm,
day just
mm,
doing that.
mm,
So that's a
mm.
lot of miles I was putting on the car. But the idea was I'm gonna go in here. I had a purpose. Like I'm gonna go in here and I'm going in here to make relationships. I'm gonna go in here. I know I'm not gonna walk up to James Cameron and say, "Hey, I'm the best director you ever met. I'm the next thing. Like, let's do it."
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. But what can happen is I can meet this producer. I can grow a relationship with this producer. Excuse me, me and this producer get cool, and at some point, hey man, check this out. Let me know what you think of this. Or I have a direct connection to that. Like, hey, I had this idea. Like, check it out. Let me know what you think. If it's cool, you got any tips for me or anything like that. It was access to people, relationships, and information that I never would have gotten anywhere else. So, like, my whole idea was like, how do I get behind the green wall? Like, like every studio
Yeah.
got like this green grass wall that you got to go through the security dude. They got to let you in. Like, how do I get behind there?
Yeah.
So I was able to get behind there. And now I have
Mm.
access to everyone on that lot because it's not just James Cameron on that lot.
Right.
It's down here they're shooting freaking what is that called, the Star Wars one,
Mm.
Mandalorian, and then down here they're shooting this and they're building the set for that right there. And like it's everybody, so like I can walk around there and just see somebody like, yo, what's up, how you doing, especially if it's a black person. I'm like, yo, what's up, bro, how you doing? You know what I'm
Talk
saying?
about it.
So I could really,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I could really connect and just have a good conversation, and we can go over to the coffee shop and chill and chop it up, and things like that. So it was just access to the relationships that I was able to take advantage of
Right.
and come through kind of like a backdoor
Mhm.
way. So it hasn't materialized into me directing anything creatively down there yet. It's slowly moving in that way because I keep dropping little seeds and doing little things here and there, and we're having more conversations. But
Yeah.
uh, it directly correlated to relationships and cash, which I needed. So
Those are good
yeah,
things.
good
Those are,
things, man.
you said something in that little answer right there that kind of struck me. And again, like I'm not afraid. I'm working intentionally on getting outside my comfort zone, which is me being on social media. Usually, I'm the person who I post pictures of my pictures, and that's it.
Yeah.
But recently, I got challenged. I got challenged by someone to be more present on social media. So I decided I was going to do this for 3 months. And the best way for me to do this is like, this is what I like the most. So I might as well do something around movies and film and television.
Mhm.
But in that, I want to learn things from everybody, right? And I want to be humble enough and open enough to learn from everybody I talk to. And just sitting here just now in that answer you gave, at some point you're like, I mean, I don't want to say I'm directing Avatar or anything. I find myself doing that all the time, right? Like, oh yeah, me and Issa Rae used to be best friends. I mean, I'm not saying I can call her, and I always qualify
Mhm.
like what that was, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't explain my fifth grade best friend. I don't qualify that. Well, I can't call him today because I don't know. Like, do you find yourself doing that? Like, how do you approach that? What do you, yeah.
Um, I think when I say that, I just don't want. I don't want to seem disingenuous, by saying because yes, I am working with James Cameron and Lightstorm Company. Yes, I am on the Avatar side. Yes, I do get to see some things and do some things that a lot of people aren't privy to. But I don't want it to seem like yeah, I'm working on. Like I hate when people take pictures with a rapper and say, "Yeah, we working." Like, nah, you just took a picture. Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah,
and then it's like, nah, you just took a picture. And I actually have a rule, like I won't even take a picture with you unless I actually did some work with you or I'm
yeah.
doing something with you. So anytime you see me take a picture with a celebrity or a certain person, it's because I'm doing something with it. So I guess it's just me trying to be not feel so disingenuous. Or man, now you got me thinking about it. Like, do I got imposter syndrome? Like now you got me questioning myself. Like I'm like, damn. Or survivor's remorse, one of the two. I don't know. It could be one of the two. I mean, how you feel about that? Like,
Listen, I know that I have been I got a lot of good friends, and I have been advised that I do it too much, right? Like I downplay everything. Like, oh, I'm doing this. What are you working on? Oh, I'm working on this thing. Oh, well, I mean, but it's not really a thing because, yeah, like for instance, my last project, I was fortunate to have like CAA and was working with CAA and Paul George on something. But every time I talked about it, no matter who I was talking to, the answer was, yeah, it's through CAA, but it's more Paul George, and really I just know because and it's just like and people are just like,
yeah,
we don't need to know all that.
I do that. I gotta stop doing that. You're right. You point that out to me. I do that. Damn. So I damn. You just this is like what we weren't supposed to be having a therapy session here.
Listen,
It's
listen.
clearly
We're
is
getting my
therapy. I do that, bro. Like I'm very humble in a sense where I don't want to be like I don't want to feel like I'm braggadocious, right? I never want to feel that way. I never want to feel like I'm putting somebody down or making it seem like I'm above them. Like I come from the mud, so like I never want to make anybody feel like that. But in that, I also damn yeah, you got me thinking because okay, so I had this rule that I have to. It's not even a rule. I just had this thought, like I gotta figure out how to properly pop my shit, right?
hmm
So I
hmm
gotta figure like how to properly like tell people all the dope shit that I do and
Yeah.
can do,
hmm
and just kind of stand in that, like, and
hmm
not
hmm
feel like I'm talking down to them, where they're gonna be looking like, you know. For example, like when I came out here, all the people that I grew up with in my hood, they start calling me Hollywood. I'm like, nigga, I ain't Hollywood. I just live here.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
It's not what I am, and I think that that gets in your psyche, especially in our
hmm
community.
hmm
But yeah, I kind of just got to learn to just pop my shit and not qualify it like, yeah. Like I should just be like yeah, yo, I work with Avatar.
Yeah,
And that's it. And like, don't even like I don't have to be like, I don't know this person, but you know what I'm saying?
correct,
And you the same. Like no, I did the CAA project with Paul George. It was dope. I killed that
correct.
shit.
Well, listen, I literally was talking to a woman who we were having kind of this. Though sometimes you have coffee and the coffee kind of goes this direction where you kind of. Anyway, she told me that she was working, and I'm messing up the names, and names are changed to protect the innocent. But she said she's working in development on this project with Sony. So we
Mm,
talked a little while longer, and she realized I was cool or whatever. And she was like, "Well, I'm in development with this project on Sony because this woman has a development deal with them, and this person has a development deal with her. I'm working with this person. We're putting together a script. Therefore, and I'm like, and the more and more I'm looking around, I feel like that's more prevalent, right?
mm,
And people, the I always joke that I'd rather sit in a dark corner and paint pretty pictures, right, than to go anywhere and talk to anybody.
yeah,
Um, but to the point you were making earlier, it seems to me, and I'd love to hear your opinion on this. This the squeaky wheel gets oiled. Like it, the social aspect is what gets you in the door and gets you those first few opportunities and that larger than life
yeah,
personality. And
yeah,
then it's your ability and your talent that gives you the staying
yeah.
power. Whether
Yeah.
you that
I agree with that because okay, so I don't want to sound crazy, but you ever seen somebody who's like they're kind of popular, they popping, but they're always like popping, they show, popping, show, and then you watch it, you be like, like that, mate. But it's because they're so like just confident and boisterous about it that they just people gravitate to it, people get to it. That's kind of how when when I went into Avatar, and I was just me. Like I just had my personality. Like I come in, yo, what up, everybody? How y'all doing? I fist bump everybody in the morning. We talk, we have conversation, we laugh, we joke. I joke all the time, and it just becomes like they just like me. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, that's
yeah,
Champ. He's cool. He can do this. He can do that. Blah blah. And it kind of makes people like show up for you because you're like, oh yeah, no,
mhm,
you're giving off that good
yeah,
vibe. So I think like with us, like where was I going with that? It's kind of just like you got to figure out. You just got to do it right and don't think twice about it and just say
gotcha.
like no, this is what I do, and be able to say this is what I do and I'm really fucking good
Mhm,
at it. Like
mhm,
I had an AC come up to me one day. I had hired him, and he was like yeah. I was like, yo, tell me about what you're doing. And this dude, he was so cool, and like he was this young black dude. Well, he's probably about my age, but
mhm,
anyhow, he just told me he was like, I'm like, no, man, I direct. No, he said he said I DP in my first AC, and I do it at a high level. And he
mhm,
left,
mhm.
and I was like, damn, that's cold that you said it like that. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Mhm,
Because it's like even if say for example, like I love basketball. If we go hoop, like I can be like no, bro, I'll bust your ass like
right.
all day.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Yeah.
not think twice about it. But like when it comes to my livelihood, like why I'm not popping my shit, like this is what I actually do. And I'm not saying I'm gonna go up to you and be like yo, I'm better than you. But no, I'm gonna be confident enough to tell you like no, I really do this. Like I get busy. You know what I'm
Fact.
saying? Athletes put in thousands and thousands of hours on the court. We put in thousands of hours in our craft over, studying and computers and
Mhm,
lighting and doing all that stuff. So we should really pop our shit too, like athletes,
fact.
honestly.
It's funny. There's somebody on this live right now, or at least I saw them earlier. A good dear friend of mine who's a producer and a director who's actually he's shooting an indie film with full of names, like in Connecticut,
Oh shit.
like fears nothing. And for years we worked
Yeah.
together early on when I was doing stuff for Nike, and he was so boisterous and so confident in what he was doing
Shout him
that
out.
I
What's his
literally, when I
name? Shout
hired
him out.
him, Danny
All
Legary.
right, Danny. Let's
I
go.
literally at points during early on would be like, hey, tamp it down. Like, let's be polite. Let's make sure we're smiling at people. Let's not be too verbose. Let's do the thing. And over the years, he's worn off on me a little bit because I definitely realize now as I'm getting older, and I don't know if it's just an old head getting old and saying these things, but now I'm like, yeah, I'm dope. What? You don't
Yeah,
know
you
anybody
dope.
who can
Let
make
me see.
it better than
Hold
me.
on, there you go. He popped up. I'm trying to see if he black. I think he black.
No, no, Danny is the whitest white boy on
Oh,
earth.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. He got the Kango. Well, he got some soul. He got the Kango in his picture. What's going on, man? But that's
He
dope,
said he
man.
got a
Like
tango. Hilarious.
I feel like we should be able to say that. Like this guy, I won't shout out because I know a friend of mine. He said he's pretty bad person, but he kind of was the same way, and then he really wasn't that good, but because he would pop his shit and be boisterous about it. He ended up like directing a movie with like I don't want to say who he is, but it's on Hulu. It
Yeah,
was distributed worldwide, and then he ended up getting something else after that.
yeah.
So I'm black. I'm so black, Danny. So
He's a
yeah,
wild boy.
yeah. I do think we just have to kind of stand on it that at the end of the day, bro, like you and I, like I know you just like myself, like we really eat, live, breathe this thing,
Mhm.
right? Like we're not just showing up and just got a camera and we're on YouTube just reading off specs. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even like on my YouTube channel, like I hate just like dealing with camera stuff. Like I think I tried to do it one day just to like play the algorithm game, and it just felt fake and bullshit. Like I'm just reading what the specs are. Like I don't want to be like a brand boy like that. Like I really want to show you like how I get down and how I move through this industry, and
Mhm.
especially uniquely to me and other people obviously, but move through this industry as independent and have a family. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
Like I
Mhm.
have just a different perspective on things. Like I have a different perspective on like, yo, I cannot move and not have insurance. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I got kids, like I
Yeah.
gotta have insurance. So it's just like certain different things that I could bring to the game. And I just say all that to say, like, we put a lot into this, bro, and we deserve to be able to say that we're dope. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
Mhm.
we deserve to be able to say, like, no, I actually can do this, and I can do it at a high
Yeah.
level, and I can show you. Now, give me
Right.
$50 million.
Give or take. Give or take.
Give me 50 million and let's get it.
Yo, I'm not trying not to hold you too much longer, but I'm just really
Oh,
enjoying
you good,
talking to
bro.
you and the
Like
people
I'm
in
here
the.
until you ready to go. I'm good. I have nothing. I haven't done anything but lay around all day and keep my legs straight.
What happened to you?
Well, I
Broad
haven't.
strokes. Broad
Yeah, it's
strokes.
fine. Like it's no big deal. Like I said before, I had the neurosurgery
Mhm.
all those years ago before I left Madison. The doctor told me when I left there and he cleaned it all up. He was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna have to see you again in like 10 years."
Mhm.
So it's been 12. So I had to
Okay.
go back and basically they did an angiogram, and that's when they go in through my leg, through the groin, and they take a camera all the way up to my head and look at everything and see what they need to do next.
Oh wow.
So I'm just I can't move my groin area kind of hurts until it heals. So I just got to make
Yeah.
sure it doesn't bleed. So I got to chill out.
Godspeed to you on that
That's
recovery.
all good. But yeah, I'm here to talk all night. I'm good.
You said you were talking just now. You were talking just jokingly. You said something about $50 million, right?
Mm,
Um, I got a couple of questions off that. One is I've come to the conclusion in Desmond's science that there are two types of artists, and there's two types of art watchers and two types of art in general. There's escapism art, which I classify as being Marvel movies, Fast and Furious, maybe James Bond or something, the Bourne series, whatever. And then there's kind of what I branded activism art, which is the Judas and the Black Messiah, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, like the heavier movies. One, I would ask, do you believe in that? Do you believe that to be true? And then two, I would ask, which one do you subscribe to? In a perfect world, would Champ want to direct, not money withstanding, the $200 million Marvel action-packed thing, or Forrest Gump?
mm, good question. Good question. Now, the nerd in me is gonna always hop to the big Marvel movie,
Right.
right? The nerd in me is gonna hop to that. I love them. Any like superhero franchise, like I love 'em. I think it'll be super fun to work on that. On the other side of that, the artist in me says that if I do want one of those, I won't have much artistic control in doing
Right.
that,
Hmm.
right? Um, as far as the activism art goes, I am one that with my stuff, I don't like to get preachy,
Hmm.
but I do like to hide something in there,
Hmm.
in the entertainment aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
So if I do a drive, I do Black Panther, and you get both. Yeah, that's true. But I do and I could talk about Black Panther, but I don't want to right now. But I
Don't
do.
get me blackballed on my first attempt at social media.
No,
And
no, I love the Black Panther. Don't get me wrong. I
okay.
think Chadwick Boseman, it was amazing. Like I think I probably cried a little bit when he passed. But
Mm,
as far as just like being preachy, I can't really do that. But I do like to put a message in my stories somewhere. Um, even if it's just a little bit, because I think that the people who is for it will connect to him right away,
mhm,
and it'll hit them like,
mhm,
oh,
mhm.
I see what he did there.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I would do like. Could I do Judas and the Black Messiah? Could I direct it? Yes. Could I write it? I don't think so. I
Mm,
don't think I could write it, but I think I would kill it if I directed it. Um, could I write a Marvel movie? Absolutely, I think so. Just because of where my head goes and how fantastical I think about certain things, and like my company's name is Imagination Upgraded, and I think I can still hide some, some good stuff in there. Like I feel like maybe it wasn't as hidden, but Captain America, the new one, that had some stuff in there. It gave you a couple of
mm,
little gems that when it
mhm.
hit the person it needed to hit, it hit. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Or
I think
something. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't see it, so I don't want to front, but I
yeah,
hear what you're saying though.
yeah, I think I'm somewhere in the middle.
Hmm.
I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm not full on Marvel, but I'm also not full on activism. But I also feel like a happy medium, which is something I can't really watch again, but it was great. Like Fruitville
Mm,
Station. Like I could do Fruitville Station,
mm, mhm,
um, because it's something that I lived. It's something that I've been through. It's something that I can relate to. So anything that I lived, been through, and can relate to, I think I could write that. If it's a biographical, autobiographical piece or something like that, I don't know if I could write that as well. But I could direct it. I think I could direct it. I think I could direct it
Got
well.
you. That's dope. That's dope. I don't. I want to say not that there's a million people in here, but to the people who did join tonight, I really appreciate y'all. Joining in and participating and giving feedback and stuff as we're going. It's really, really,
It,
really far outside my comfort zone to be doing this in the first place. So I appreciate y'all for checking in. If anybody in the comments has any questions for Champ or myself, would love to answer any of those. And we'll just ask a couple more questions and get out of
yeah,
here.
for sure. I'm glad to see you doing this too, bro. Like, you kind of got to you got to take it into your own hands, and we do a lot for other people, clients, right?
Mhm.
Versus doing our own thing, and that was like something last year that I really took. I tried to put forward is I wanted to put. It's gonna sound crazy, but I wanted to be a everything I did. I wanted to find a selfish reason for doing it
Mm,
because I hadn't been like promoting myself. I hadn't been pushing myself. So
mhm.
even if I did a project for a client, it was like, all right, what's my selfish reason that I could do this? What can I get out of this? Um, and it worked a lot. Like I had to say no to a few things because it was like, all right, I'm really not going to get anything out of this, so I'm going to pass on it. And then other things, I was like, yeah, okay, I can do this with this. I can get this out of that. You know what I mean? So I think we got to look at it and be a little bit selfish sometimes.
Got you. No, Fred, you cannot be a part of the conversation. Love you though, brother. You are the big homie. And Danny asked though, when are we gonna do something together?
I'm down to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do. I told you that before we had a conversation earlier in the summer. I was like, man, like if you got something coming up, like I'll come and like direct it behind the scenes or whatever, and like get you some dope behind the scenes, and we can do that. But I think just with you and I'm down to do whatever. If we came up with an idea to do a short film, I have all my gear. We can do that. You have gear. We can do it. We just figure out what roles we want to play.
Hmm.
And, if you're going to be the director and I be DP, I support it 100%. If I be director, you be DP, support it 100%. Whatever we need to do, we just got to find that story and just do it, or do like a little short series, and we split the directing and DP
Love
and do duties
that.
and put it
Yeah,
out. You know what I mean? So I'm
yeah.
down to whatever.
And selfishly, we just gotta make sure it's dope, right?
It's just got to be
Yeah,
dope. It's gonna be dope. What do we mean? Make sure, like it's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
fire. What are we talking about? We just had this whole conversation. It's dope. Yeah, what up?
Hey, so Carlos asked, when you, he said y'all, but you're the guest, so I'm gonna ask you, when you get a project as a director, do you have certain actors in mind, and do you fight for them to be in the project? Why or why not?
So it depends. I haven't done anything on a big, like, Hollywood or episodic level yet. But the projects that I have done, I have been able to, let me see. I guess it's kind of yes and no, but I haven't really had to fight for any person because I feel like anytime we've had it, like I've chosen the right person.
Mhm.
Um, and I think it worked out for the better. I haven't had to fight with anybody as far as on camera. I have had to fight or somebody off camera, or trying not to work with the person who ended up having to work with them anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But so I have had that fight. But on camera, it's been pretty good. I can say my experience has been pretty good. I usually have, if I wrote it, I for sure have an idea of who I want
Oh,
it.
hold on. I didn't know that there's a time limit on this. It says we got 15 seconds left.
What?
Didn't mean to cut you off. I'd like to say thank y'all. God bless everybody.
Well,
10
you can start it
seconds.
again if you want to, but that was good.
Champ, email me a list of 3 artists that I can interview